Good morning, family. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. This morning, if you can, we're starting in child's pose just to stretch our body and stretch our back. We'll come up in downward facing dog. We step to the front of our mats or stand wherever we are. And we're going to come up to mountain pose. Our hands are besides our legs. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lifting our hands up. Reaching up to the sky. Fingers facing all the way up. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Hands come together. You're looking up. You could be looking at your fingertips or at the sky, or your eyes can be closed. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down. Together. Hands to heart. We're going to come down in seated pose. Or you're sitting in your chair, or you're laying on your mat. And let's begin. Let's take some deep breaths. So your hands can be palms down, palms up, whatever you need. Keep breathing. Feel the vibration. Feel that vibration. You're taking deep breaths in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. What are you waking up feeling this morning? Where is the emotion that you wake up feeling? Where does it live in your body? Is it tension? Do you feel it in your back, in your spine? Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your mind? Is it at your crown? Is it in your pelvis? Is it in your legs? Where do you carry any pain or stress or any of the emotions that you are walking with or waking with this morning? Let's allow the vibration to, let's change the channel this morning. We're allowing the vibration to do work, to enter us, to move through our body. Let's inhale. What do we need today? Compassion, hope, faith. Let's exhale anything that doesn't serve us. Wherever we're feeling any pain, whatever fears we're carrying, let's release that. We're surrendering. Let's inhale confidence, trust, love. Let's exhale doubt, worry, loss. Inhale joy. Exhale sadness. Inhale love. Exhale guilt. Inhale magic. Exhale worry. Everything is aligning perfectly. Everything is happening right on time. There is nothing that we lack. We're going to continue reading this morning from the prophet. Yesterday we read the section um, we read Crime and Punishment. We are on the chapter titled Laws. Then a lawyer said, "But what of our laws, master?" And he answered, "You delight in laying down laws. Yet you delight more in breaking them. Like children playing by the ocean who build sand towers with constancy and then destroy them with laughter. But while you build your sand towers, the ocean brings more sand to the shore, and when you destroy them, the ocean laughs with you. Verily, the ocean laughs always with the innocent. But what of those to whom life is not an ocean, and man made laws are not sand towers, but to whom life is a rock, and the law a chisel, and with which they would carve it in their own likeness? What of the cripple who hates dancers? What of the ox who loves his yoke and deems the elk and deer of the forest stray and vagrant things? What of the old serpent who cannot shed his skin and calls all others naked and shameless? And of him who comes early to the wedding feast and when overfed and tired goes his way saying that all feasts are violations and all feasters lawbreakers? What shall I say of these, save that they too stand in the sunlight, but with their backs to the sun? They see only their shadows, and their shadows are their laws. And what is the sun to them but a caster of shadows? And what is it to acknowledge the laws but to stoop down and trace their shadows upon the earth? But you who walk facing the sun, what images drawn on the earth can hold you? You who travel with the wind, what weather vane shall direct your course? What man's law shall bind you if you break your yoke, but upon no man's prison door? What laws shall you fear if you dance, but stumble against no man's iron chains? And who is he that shall bring you to judgment if you tear off your garment, yet leave it in no man's path? People of Orphalese, you can muffle the drum, and you can loosen the strings of the lyre, but who shall command the skylark not to sing? On freedom. An orator said, "Speak to us of freedom," and he answered, "At the city gate and by your fireside, I have seen you prostrate yourself and worship your own freedom. Even as slaves stumble themselves before a tyrant and praise him though he slays them, I, in the grove of the temple and in the shadow of the citadel, I have seen the freest among you wear their freedom as a yoke. I have seen the freest among you wear their freedom as a yoke and a handcuff, and my heart bled within me, for you can only be free when even the desire of seeking freedom becomes a harness to you, and when you cease to speak of freedom as a goal and a fulfillment. You shall be free indeed when your days are not without a care, nor your nights without a want and a grief, but rather when these things girdle your life, and yet you rise above them naked and unbound. And how shall you rise beyond your days and nights unless you break the chains which you at the dawn of your and how shall you rise beyond your days and nights unless you break the chains which you at the dawn of your understanding have fastened around your noon hour? In truth, that which you call freedom is the strongest of these chains, though it links glitter in the sun and dazzle your eyes. And what is it but fragments of your own self you would discard that you may become free? If it is an unjust law you would abolish, that law was written with your own hand upon your own forehead. You cannot erase it by burning your law books, nor by washing the foreheads of your judges, though you pour the sea upon them. And if it is a despot you would dethrone, see first that his throne erected within you is destroyed. For how can a tyrant rule the free and the proud, but for a tyranny in their own freedom and a shame in their own pride? And if it is a care you would cast off. That care has been chosen by you rather than imposed upon you. And if it is a fear you would dispel, the seat of that fear is in your heart and not the hand of the feared. Verily, all things move within your being in constant half embrace, the desired and the dreaded, the repugnant and the cherished, the pursued and that which you would escape. These things move within you as lights and shadows in pairs that cling. And when the shadow fades and is no more, the light that lingers becomes a shadow to another light. And thus your freedom, when it loses its fetters, becomes itself the fetter of a greater freedom. I'm going to end the reading there. If you have The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, do yourself the favor, you will read it in an hour. Tomorrow we'll continue with Reason and Passion. It's no coincidence that I'm reading this book right now as I'm beginning to do a lot of shadow work. Some of you are joining me in that journey, and it is beautiful and it is powerful. And I love that the theme is about freedom, because in so many ways we are in this self-imposed prison, um, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, economically, physically, feeling like we are trapped somewhere. And so today I am sending this vibration of love and healing, and may you find your what freedom means to you, right? And may you not be afraid to embrace your shadow, because in embracing our shadow is when we are really able to move into light. And with that, I'm going to read our oracle card from the Iyan Levanzant Until Today deck. I respect myself too much to stay in a situation that doesn't honor me. I respect myself too much to stay in a situation that doesn't honor me. Until today, you may have considered yourself brave for remaining in a dishonorable relationship or situation because you knew how to stay. Just for today, evaluate why you have stayed and whether or not doing so has caused you spiritual pain. I'm going to leave that there. If you are someone who journals, free write on that. Family, I am sending you so much love. Let's vibrate. Let's change the frequency. Whatever's rising, allow it to rise. Because we are vibrating higher and higher and higher and higher. Every day we show up for meditation. We are saying, I love you. I love you, Spirit. I love you, God. I love you, Olofi. I love you, Universe. I love you, Egun. I love you, Ancestors. I love you, Ocha. I love you, spirit guides. I love you, guardian angels, whatever you believe in. I love you, all that energy work that you're doing. Because if you're showing up for this morning meditation, it's because you do have a morning practice, or you are re-entering a morning practice and a ritual, or an evening practice, or an afternoon practice, whenever you're listening to this meditation. Allow the vibration to shift you. You can always change the channel. You can always make a different choice. I'm wishing you peace. I'm wishing you love. Everything that I want for me, I want for you. Have an amazing day. Ache. Namaste. Amen. And so it is. Be beautiful today. Peace.